Stephen A. Smith and Sonny Houston get an argument after an inappropriate lie about Donald Trump. This happened 16 hours ago. So let's get in the video because I really like watching Sonny Houston get her ass chewed out by Stephen A. Smith, and I love when he gets into the Democrat Party's asses. So let's go ahead and get into it. So let's enjoy.
What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the times went out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, please. Y'all see it right here. I want to double check something though. I'm mad I didn't do it before, but I'm gonna double check something on my channel. I had watched this individual on The View, right? No, I don't think this her. She's blonde. She has blonde hair, right? She has blonde hair. Cause I had mentioned something yesterday. I put out a video yesterday on The View. And this lady, I don't even know who the lady is. But y'all know Alyssa Fair Griffin is out due to, she just had a baby. I'm pretty sure. So they're having, guest co-hosts. This guest co-host literally riles up the women up by, saying the actual truth when it comes down to the Epstein files. Check it out right here.
The amount of disclosure we've had so far has been astonishing. I mean, you have to admit, it's been more than 3 million documents. It's why we have talked about it day in and day out on this show and everywhere else. And we want more of that. The president did sign the act from Congress that would disclose all this information. Right. And the DOJ does say that they are on it and they will look for any pieces that were not included. So I just think before we jump to conclusions, there's still unsubstantiated allegations that were made in 2019 before the 2020 election. And so let's see before,
yes.
We know Democrats like to bash President Trump. That's
no, it's not about bashing Trump. This is about listen, you have people who are taking responsibility.
100% disgusting crimes.
And so
it is, but at the same time, like with having four individuals that also was in the files on The View, and she wants to say this is about, children, and this is about, stop throwing it. That is bashing Trump. Literally how I know and how this co-host, how this guest know, is because and this is no lie. Y'all know, if y'all been subscribed to me for a while now, y'all know that I'm one of, and I'm not going to say the only person, but I'm one of the only people, that looks at The View's videos and say, or fact check them or say what I need to say. Y'all know I'm one of those people that, truly do that when it comes to The View. And for a while now, it's been so long since, looking at The View and saying what I got to say. Every week, if not every day, they talk something about it. Sometimes it don't even, the title, the thumbnail, nothing has nothing to do with Trump. Nothing to do with Trump. It can be something with a movie. Like, they bring a guest, they will say something about Trump. So, yes, it's about bashing. Not only them, but others. If you look on X right now, and you type in any Democrat, you can type in Hakeem Jeffries, you can type in Chuck Schumer, Jazz Crockett, you can type in anybody, and Trump is going to pop up. So, she's completely right. That's what they tend to do. Not only those individuals, but you have Democrats. That's just voters, supporters. Anytime you come up with a conversation, sometimes you don't even have to say anything about a conversation. You can just be like, oh, the gas price. Oh, well, Trump. I mean, I'm telling y'all, it's always like that. It's always like that. They so quick to bash Trump. So quick. But honestly, I'm not even going to lie. If you actually think about things, and I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of people agree with me. Biden White House, I would say the last, that year, the last year, I'd say 4 years, the last 4 years, but people have been really, it seems like people are happier. I feel like the only thing people are complaining about is probably ICE. That's the only thing they're literally complaining about. It's like they have nothing to complain about whatsoever. Me personally, I don't see it.
He is at the tip of this iceberg, and he is the only person who we really have not heard from, except to say, no, it never happened.
And I don't want people in the comments talking about, oh, Rick, what do you mean about... Trust and believe, I already gave my statement of how I feel about, ICE.
Well, and Representative Massey and Meese are Republicans, and they are also calling for this.
And by the way, the FBI interviewed this woman or this child when she was a child at the time. Now she's a woman 4 times.
4 times.
So they must have had something in there that provoked them to do it 3 more times.
Well, let's find out what's going on.
There should have been 4 302s filled out.
Yes.
Right.
I'm going to go to this next video as well. And it says here, looks like ABC wants to pay Trump another $15 million. Sunny Hustle The View. Literally, y'all know she thinks that she's just the most greatest lawyer, I guess, in the country or something. Just falsely accused President Trump of doing this, with Jeffrey. It obviously has something to do with a child, as they speak on. Says, remind me, how many legal notes has Sunny Huston had to read live on his show? Lost count. One thing about it, though, when it comes down to Sunny Huston, she's the main one. And the crazy thing is, she's the main one. Whoopi, it was a little bit here and there, but now it's this who, and then you got Joy that just played it. Joy Behar is she's a follower. I don't know if y'all realize, but she's a follower. She's an individual that follows each and every, even this new guest right here. She follows everything they say. No leader at all. Honestly, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I know y'all gonna be in the comments saying, "Oh, none of them are leaders." It's true, but Joy Behar is definitely a follower.
I want to know where those pages are.
What was taken out?
Well, we don't know what was taken out, but what we know is that Representative Garcia read about 50 pages left out. He did read an account of the president sexually assaulting that 13-year-old.
This president.
Yes.
Well, explain what this is, the words.
Well, apparently in this document, and I want to be very careful here because these are allegations, and President Trump has consistently...
See what I mean? She had to fix herself because she knows what's about to come. She still knows because she's speaking on this. That's the thing. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
They're unverified allegations, and President Trump has consistently denied all the allegations and any wrongdoing. But there was a presentation made by the FBI, and the witness stated that Jeffrey Epstein introduced her to Trump, who subsequently forced her head down and punched her in the head in response to something that she did.
Right. When it comes down to it, and you hear, obviously the first time she didn't say this, this allegations or nothing, they have to double back and do this. She said that. My thing is that they're trying their best. They're literally trying their best to have people, because they know where they are right now because they were named, in those files. They know where they are. I'm trusting. Just trust what I'm saying right here. They're literally trying to have people listen to them and sweep under the rug of what they, had going on. I'm telling y'all. True fact. Check it out. This is Stephen A. Smith right here. And this is true facts. It's definitely true facts, and I wanted to share this for a reason. Because it's definitely something that is very true when it comes to, again, what I've been talking about, Democrats.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that the Epstein files were in existence and free to have been opened during the Biden administration. You were there for 4 years.
Exactly.
How come you didn't open it as a Democratic Party then? What am I missing? I'm not saying I know. It's a legitimate question. Maybe I don't remember the answer. Maybe my extraordinary producers should be able to help me during the commercial break. But from my understanding, the same files that were open or being open now with the 220 pages of documents or whatever it is, with various emails, that could have been done when Biden was in office. Well, why didn't you do it? If it's so important now.
If it's so important now. Exactly.
What were the Democrats doing at that particular moment in time? See, this is the kind of stuff that smells.
I feel
because
that.
my attitude is just deducing how much they despise Trump is if there was some real bona fide dirt on him, since you went after him with the 34 felony convictions, which essentially was deduced to him paying hush money to Stormy Daniels, a porn star, just so she wouldn't reveal their happenings with one another leading up to the election in 2016. Okay? If you had something like that you were willing to parade him through the streets with, of course, if you had something on him about Epstein, you'd have let it go earlier to make sure he didn't become the 47th president. That's just my thinking from a logical perspective. But what do I know?
I'm telling y'all, it's like, one thing about it is it's all true. It's all true. When it comes down to it, it's all true. And people aren't realizing that. Obviously, y'all are. But I'm just saying, like, why sit there and talk about this? And the thing is, my little brothers, my little sisters, they've spoke about it before. And I'm telling them, like, man, y'all are hearing, and that's what's sad about it. They don't know the beforehand. And that's why I try to do what I need to do on speaking on stuff like this. You know, right then and there and calling it out. Because they don't know beforehand. They don't know what's going on. They seeing all these individuals that's posting out, Democrats that's posting out, literally. Trump did this with the files. He did this. Oh, he's doing this. And he's doing. That's all they're seeing. They're seeing this. They don't know what's going out. They don't know what's been out. That's the thing. They don't know what's been out. They seeing now. When they hop on TikTok and they scrolling through and they seeing stuff like that, they scrolling through Instagram. And that's what I try to do what I need to do and call it out like it is. I'm telling y'all. Because it's definitely important. Y'all know I've showed this before when I said Whoopi Goldberg, Hillary Clinton, you know, when these individuals got called to it. You know, not only just Whoopi Goldberg, but there were other, you know, I think 3 other View individuals that were on the files as well. One thing about it, former President Bill Clinton tells House investigators in prepared statement he had no idea about Jeffrey Epstein crimes. Says I saw nothing and I did nothing wrong. This is a problem. I'm going to tell you why it's a problem. It's a problem because just like Clinton is hanging out, you know, with Jeffrey Epstein, other individuals are too. Whoopi. You know, and they're using it. I'm telling y'all, it's all sick and it's sad that they're doing this. Mind you, he knew it, you know, Epstein was about. He obviously invited, I'm pretty sure, over 17 times the White House. I'm telling y'all, it's sickening. Hillary Clinton also said she got into a screaming match during her deposition. And you got Representative Anna Paulina Luna, I hope I said that right, giving the details, you know, from inside the room. Check it out right here.
There was an accusation that there was a screaming match?
It wasn't an accusation, Jesse. It definitely, Secretary Clinton definitely lost her cool.
What happened?
Representative Mace was pushing her. I think the question was something along the lines of her basically not doing anything regarding the trafficking, or it got into a pretty heated exchange, and the secretary did lose her cool, and they were yelling at each other, and then she kind of realized that I think it was being recorded and kind of collected herself again, but that was not an exaggeration by Representative Mason. That will come out, and I think it was stupid for their spokespeople to deny that.
Yeah, we're going to see that.
But I feel like that's how you know that you're guilty too. Like, you sitting there getting that mad that you have to do all of that. Like, and then y'all sitting there denying it, saying that y'all didn't know what he was about, and y'all didn't know this, y'all didn't know that.
Video on Monday, was Representative Mace being respectful, or was she just Was she also just getting under her skin? Like, what was the dynamic?
I think Representative Mace has taken this obviously very seriously because she is a victim herself. But I think the aspect was that Representative Mace kept trying to cut it and say, okay, we'll go to Rep. Luna now. And then Secretary Clinton was still obviously visibly upset and wanted to continue arguing. And so eventually it continued forward. But I think the whole idea that someone would give the impression, especially being that they were around an intelligence asset, and you can see that you just presented evidence of that, that they shouldn't maybe answer about whether or not they were compromised, were state secrets shared accidentally. I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell specifically was, from President Clinton's own words, I think that he was more closer to her than Jeffrey. But even then, I asked the same conversation and questions in that what was she specifically asking for? And so it's in my professional opinion that they were both targeted, as well as other people as well.
So that literally just goes to show you on how both these individuals are, guilty. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, like you're sitting there and you still want to argue and you getting bitter over something, a statement that was said. It's all showing. And that's why I'm telling y'all, man. One thing that I cannot wait, honestly, and I don't want to wish bad on nobody. I don't want this to, sound bad or nothing like that. But for action, for arrests to be made when it comes down to it. I truly do, because I feel like, and again, I know that, these things take time, it takes steps, but, it's so much going on. We haven't seen no arrest. We haven't seen no real arrest yet. And I'm speaking not even just the files. I'm speaking